Hello and welcome to Between the Books. I'm Isadora.
And my name is Shannon.
And today we're going to be doing the mid-year book Freakout tag.
Yay!
Yay! Which is going to be our second one. We've done one already.
Which is super exciting. I'm always excited to do book tags.
Me too.
Especially this one, because we're going to talk about all the reading that we've done in the first half of the year.
Yeah, which if you've been listening to all our episodes, you have gotten our currently readings throughout each episode. So maybe you can even guess some of the answers. Comment down below. But yeah, let's just hop right in.
Yeah.
So Shannon, what was the best book you read at the first half of 2026?
I'm so happy you asked. My favorite book, and I am cheating because I'm going to put a whole trilogy up here.
Okay.
But it is Ancillary Justice by Ann Leckie. I started a 15-minute segment talking about this series on one of our episodes. But Ancillary Justice is about someone named Breck who used to be the starship Ancillary Justice. Like she used to be the AI of this ship. And she used to have multiple bodies that she would use to walk around. But now she's just one person and she's on a revenge quest to kill the person who damaged her, basically. And that's what the trilogy is about. And this is a huge space political intrigue book where it deals with themes of colonialism and the after effects of it. That's a major theme of this book. And also the gradual found family that Breck builds throughout this whole trilogy. I think the trilogy is really good, but the first and third book are standouts for me. I thought this trilogy was super good. What about you? What was your favorite book for 2026?
So mine's a little spoiler, but my favorite book of 2026 so far is Yesteryear by Kara Clare Burke.
Woo!
I know.
I didn't know it was that. Woo!
Yeah. That blew me away. I haven't given that many 5 stars this year, and this is a 5-star for sure. This is actually going to be our next episode on podcast, so you can listen to all our thoughts then. But quick little synopsis is just this woman named Natalie. She is an influencer. She's a traditional trad wife influencer, and she's got what seems to be the perfect life, but she's kind of hiding, the really fancy modern appliances. She's hiding all the extra help that she's getting. It's all behind the scenes. And one day she wakes up and she's in 1855 and her family's there, but they're not really her family, or if things are different, the house looks different, and she kind of just has to learn what was going on, try to survive, and try to figure out how to get out of there. And I thought it was so well done, so incredibly well written, and it gave us lots to talk about.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely stay tuned for that episode. We've talked at lengths about this book. I also really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And would totally recommend it.
I think it's the one book this year that I've read that I haven't had any things that I think were different. I wish it was different.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect as it is.
Ooh, that's so exciting.
I know. Okay, so actually, before we go into the second question, Shannon, how many books did you read this year?
Oh, we should have started with this.
I know.
So I've read 16 books so far,
Nice.
Which is down from last year. I checked back in.
Last year was wild.
Last year, we were unemployed.
Yeah.
So we can't expect to keep those numbers up. But at the same time last year, I was at 30.
Yeah.
I was at something stupid crazy. But I'm happy with where I'm at right now. Usually that's pretty normal for me. What about you?
I've read 18 books, which is great for me because I think last year I was not doing so well during this time, and I eventually didn't even meet my goal of 30 books, I think, if I remember correctly. So I do think that I'm well on track. According to Goodreads, I'm 6 books ahead.
What?
So kind of nice.
We're kind of back.
I know, we're back. So yeah, 18 books.
How do you feel about your reading so far? Because I also remember last year you were kind of reading books. We weren't having that good of a time, I think
so far I've read pretty good books. I don't think I've had many books where I didn't like them, and one of my goals, which we'll talk more later, but one of my goals for this year was to read more series. And as you guys have heard, I've been reading the House of Night series, so that I think that really helped me with my numbers. I think reading series is really good to get you going, you finish one and you're ready for the next one, and you keep reading, especially as a series that's so long. So that's really helping me with my numbers right now. But Anyways, moving on to the next question. Shannon, what has been your favorite sequel that you've read this year?
So my favorite sequel, it was a podcast episode. Everyone on this train is a suspect.
Perfect. That's the same as mine.
Great. We can talk about it together.
Yep.
Both of us did some crazy shit while we were reading this book. So this is the second book in like the Ernest Cunningham like mystery series. We also read Everyone in this family.
My family.
Everyone in my family has killed someone, which is the first book. We both really enjoyed it. So we read the second book and we were desperately trying to figure out who done it. So you can hear about all our thoughts on this book at length in that episode. Briefly, the book is about Ernest Cunningham, who was back after his popular book, Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, has taken off. He's got invited to an Australian crime writers festival that takes place aboard the Gone, which is a train that goes through the Australian outback. And while he's on this train, one of the crime writers is murdered. So now him and all the other crime writers that have been invited to the festival have to figure out who done it. Awesome concept.
Yeah, it's really fun. I will never forget the lengths I went through to figure out who did it. That was a lot of mental work for me, but it was really fun.
Yeah, and I liked the first book, I think this is a great sequel.
Yeah, I agree.
Isidore, what is a new release that you haven't read, but you are excited to?
So a new release from this first half of 2026 that I have not read yet is 30, Flirty, and Forever Alone by Christine Riccio.
Ooh.
It was on my books that I was looking forward to this week.
I remember.
Yeah, and I just didn't get around to reading it, and I'm actually quite upset because all of my other Christine books, I have them in hardcover, and now I can't find this one in hardcover anymore. I don't know if they don't
already?
sell it. Yeah, I'm
When did it come out?
in January.
Oh.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm just not looking at the right places, but it's only giving me paperback, and it's gonna ruin my bookshelf. But I gotta buy it, and I don't know much about it. I think it's that the main character, obviously 30 and single, I think she's looking for a +1 for a wedding, and I can't remember if she meets the main guy at a wedding or she finds someone to go with her, something like that. But chaos ensues. I think Christina also always puts some sort of magical realism or some sort of magic in her books. So I think that's in that. And this is also her first adult book, because her other ones were young adult. No, her other ones were new adult. But this one's she's 30, so it's adult. And yeah, I've been watching Christine does Christine's a YouTuber, by the way. She has a channel called Pullin' Bananas Books, and she always vlogs her writing process. And so I watch all her vlogs from when she was writing this book, and then now I've been watching her new ones that she's doing for her next book. So I'm like, I can't believe I didn't read it back in January. I actually find her books so fun. So that is one that I have to pick up. How about you?
So this is a really anticipated sequel for me that came out a month ago at this point, which is The Tapestry of Fate by Shannon Chakraborty. Oh yeah. This is the sequel to The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, which I adored when I read it. I've been really looking forward to this sequel. I haven't bought Tapestry of Fate yet because I'm just kind of waiting. I hope I read it soon. I don't know what I'm waiting for.
I guess sometimes you just like me with my book, you just, time passes.
Some time has passed, even though I've been really looking forward to this book. And I will try to read it this year, but I also am I really want to reread Amina before I read the sequel. And I do own Amina, and I probably should. I just have so many books I want to read now. It's just it's not the one I'm gravitating towards right now, which is probably why it hasn't happened yet. But I'm really looking forward to the sequel. And from what I've heard, the sequel's really good. So I'm really excited to read it.
And Shannon, so what is your most anticipated book for the second half of 2026?
This is another anticipated sequel by me. I have been waiting. I am so excited for It's Deadbeat, which is the third Ninth House book by Leigh Bardugo. I love Ninth House. You know I love Ninth House. I love Ninth House. I loved Hellbent, which is the sequel. And now Deadbeat, which is the third book in the trilogy, is coming out so soon. And I read Ninth House in 2020, I think maybe, which is when it came out. And it's 2026. So I've been like she'll like release Ninth House and she'll write another book, and I'm like, just stop writing books, go back to writing Ninth House. But Ninth House is like my favorite Labradoodle book, which is, I think, apparently controversial.
Yeah,
I think it's really good.
Six of Crows.
I think it's better than
I have to read
Six
that.
of
I have to
Crows.
read that.
It's okay because it's like got all the kind of shit that I like in it. Like, I realize there are flaws in it, but I'm having so much fun while I'm reading it. I think all the characters are so good in it, and the little adventures that they go on are so fun that I'm like just having the time of my life, like reading the like adventures that like Alex is going on in the series. But if you haven't read Ninth House, I do recommend it. There are a lot of like content warnings in it, so I would recommend looking those up if any of them would potentially bother you. But if you do pick it up, I think it's really good. So what is your most anticipated read for the second half of 2026?
Most anticipated.
You can say victorious.
It's not. Oh, it's not. It's A Court of Thorns and Roses number 6, baby.
Wait,
we don't have a title yet, so I don't know.
Oh, I totally forgot. When is that coming out?
I want to say October.
Whoa.
Which is soon. And then
And not have a title yet.
No. And the 7th one is coming out in January.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I don't even know. I can't even tell you what's going to happen in it. I actually don't know. I don't think there is a lot of info. She did like she literally announced it a couple months ago on a podcast and broke the internet for a second. But I don't think we have a lot of information on what it's going to, like who's going to follow and what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very excited because I love ACOTAR. So yay.
Our next question is, Isadora, what was your biggest disappointment for the first half of this year?
My biggest disappointment was 5 Dark Fates by Kendari Blake.
Oh.
That was the final book in the Queens of Fenbird book series. The first one is the 3 Dark Crowns. I was disappointed, but I was also not expecting much because I liked the series, but not that much. So when I read it, I was like, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. But for the end of what's supposed to be an epic story, it was really not good. And it did not feel like a final book, did not feel like a final conclusion. It did not go the way I wanted it to have gone. So definitely a big disappointment for that. But the series just kind of follows, it takes place in I think it's Fenburn Island, and it follows the way that this island works is that there's 3 queens, triplets that are born every time. When they reach a certain age, probably 18 or something, they're supposed to, so they're separated before, like once they're children, and when they get to that age, they're supposed to fight and kill each other, and only one survives and becomes the new queen. But things don't go that way. That was my biggest disappointment. Shanna, what was yours?
So mine is God Killer. We haven't talked about God Killer on this podcast, but you and I read it for our side book club. And I was so excited for this book because it's the kind of adventure fantasy book that is so like up my alley. It takes place in a world where there are like many types of like gods. And our main character, Kissen, is a god killer. So she's like a mercenary who goes around killing gods. Very, her vibe is a lot like The Witcher. And she ends up like being custody of like this young noble girl who is attached to a small god. And they have to travel to like this specific town to do something. Do you remember?
Yeah, they have to go to like where the gods are like hiding, basically.
Yeah, just to like figure out like how to like separate the two of them, basically. And then they also team up with like this knight who has like a dark past, like that kind of thing. And like this kind of like D&D adventure, bunch of, you know, heroes coming together, going on a party is like, this is the kind of fantasy book kind of thing I eat up. I love like gods. Like I like its concept is so good. The writing is so bad. It's so bad. Yeah. It's like riddled with mistakes. Like it's actually like if there was an award given out to like the worst edited book, this is not a criticism I usually have for a book, but this book truly is so poorly edited that it interferes with your understanding of the text at certain points. And so that really bothered me while I was reading it. And then unfortunately the plot like isn't very good either. It's just kind of like maybe your standard adventure, but nothing interesting is done. It just feels like we have to check the list of like these different tropes rather than actually engage with them or do anything like fun or subversive with them.
Yeah.
So that's my opinions of God Killer by Hannah Kaner. Wish it was better.
What was your biggest surprise of the year so far?
So this is where I'm going to bring up Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke. I don't read a lot of contemporary fiction. This is a very popular book right now. And I didn't know what to expect going into it because it's definitely causing a lot of like, not controversy, but just a lot of talk like online. And I didn't like, I knew about that, but I didn't like listen to any of it going in. I kind of went in like kind of blind other than knowing the pitch for the book. But I was really surprised with how like complex and nuanced the author's take on the subject was.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really good.
Agree.
What about you? What was your biggest surprise?
One of my biggest surprises was The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. Yeah, which was a podcast episode. Do you want to hear more about our thoughts? But I mean, like, I thought I would like it, but I just not to the extent that I did. I truly, really, really liked it. And that one takes place in like medieval times, and we follow some characters in a castle that's under siege. And they've been there for a while. They're all like starting to get really hungry. They don't have a lot of food. And one day, entities come that kind of look like they're like deities show up, and they show up bringing food, and chaos ensues basically. Like things are not what it seemed. There's weird stuff going on. And that was my first book by Caitlin Starling, and I really liked just the imagery of it all, just her writing and the characters and everything. So I was pretty surprised by how much I liked it. So I definitely want to read more from her.
You know what's really interesting is that I mentioned The Starving Saints on our mid-year Freakout tag last. Yeah,
that was your surprise, or was that?
It was a book that had come out that I was excited to read.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I mentioned it, and then it came out. Anyway, so I think that was interesting just because when I brought it up was the first time you'd heard of that, of the book.
Wow.
So now it's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Nice.
So, Zora, what is your new favorite author for 2026?
I think my current new favorite author is, and not to harp too much on this, but it is Carol Claire Burke.
Oh, yes.
And like I mentioned, like really loved her writing. I cannot wait to see what else she writes in the future. It's gonna take a second because this book just came out, but I'm really curious on what other concepts she's gonna tackle next, because I wonder if they're gonna be like kind of polarizing or like as deep as this one was. So very intrigued by that. I really loved her writing, and I can't wait for more. How about you?
So for me, it's Anne Leckie, who wrote the Ancillary Justice series. She has more books that take place in like, I think the series is called the Imperial Raj series, which is like the name of like the empire in the book. So there's more like Imperial Raj books. I don't know how many, but I'm excited to read those. But the one I'm most excited for is that she has a fantasy book.
Oh, yeah.
Which is The Raven Tower. And I really want to read it this year if I can. So I just want to read more books by her. I really like the worlds that she builds. I'm really excited to see what she does in like a fantasy setting specifically, because that's so different from sci-fi. So I want to see if she like tackles the same themes, if she talks about different things. Yeah, no, I'm really excited.
Shannon, what is your new favorite character of the year?
It's from Ancillary Justice. Who would have thought? One of the main characters in Ancillary Justice. So her name is Savardin.
Oh, that's a fun name.
Yeah, it is a fun name. Savardin Vendai. And she is, in the first book, she was like a captain of a ship. And then she got like cryogenically frozen and like woke up in the future and had like a crash out. As you would.
As one does.
So she's like really addicted to like this in-universe drug in the first book, and she meets up with Breck in the first book, and they actually know each other because Savardin used to work on Breck the ship when Breck was a ship, and Breck was just like, ugh, my officer doing dumb shit. I have to, take care of her and make sure that she like, gets off the drugs and stuff, and like she like takes care of her at the start of the book. And then is like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm going. But by then, Savardin's like formed this bond with Breck and is like, I will do anything for you, Breck. I would lay down my life for you, Breck. I would do anything for you. And like that kind of girl fail crash out is like my favorite kind of character character. And just like the bond that the two of them build like throughout the trilogy is just like a really sweet one. Like it's just pure friendship.
Nice.
What about you?
So my favorite character of this year is Jean Moreau from the Sunshine Corps. I love him so much. I did not expect him because he's kind of like a side character in the first series, and he's kind of like not one of the good guys. We're kind of in his head. The character development that he goes through is really sweet, and just like seeing him kind of finding this new family and like just become like realizing all the terrible things that happened to him, and just I don't know. I just really liked him and the way that he acted and his like view on things. So I can't wait for more because I need more books with him.
So in the Sunshine Court follows him.
Yeah.
And then like how many other books are there?
Well, there's 2. So I read the Sunshine Court and
I need to know how many I gotta catch up on.
The Sunshine Court and the Golden Raven. And
yes.
I think there might just be one more because there was only 3 in the Foxhole Court one. So I'm thinking there might just be one more. There's definitely one more coming out, but I don't know when. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. You should read it. It's good.
I will.
You're good.
So, Isadora, what is a book that made you happy?
So I'm gonna go and say the whole series. Rereading The House of Night has made me so happy. Like, it's such a joy. It's a series that I read when I was younger, and I had reread it already. Like, I read it when I was like 11, 12, and then I reread it when the last book came out. I think I was 14, so I reread the whole thing again, and then I read the last book. And so it's been a hot minute. It's been over 10 years. So getting to reread that, I love that series so much, and I've been rereading it with a close friend of mine, and we've been like just chatting through the whole thing. We like get together and we like just go through all our things we've highlighted. So cute. Yeah, we literally like went to a coffee shop and we sat and we're like, okay, this is all we've highlighted, and then we just went through the whole book and saying our thoughts and everything, and that's been so fun to just go through a book series like that. So it's been such a joy to do that.
That's so cute because I never reread books. I'm like not that girl. I'm like, there's so many new books to read. Yeah. And I have so many books that I love, but I very rarely reread books, especially books that I read when I was younger.
Yeah, because you're afraid of ruining it.
I'm pretty sure it's probably like the writing style definitely doesn't hold up, so I don't want this to like taint my experience with this book. That was one of my biggest fears when I was rereading Percy Jackson for the podcast. I was like, is this like still good? It turns out Percy Jackson's still good, guys.
I know.
But I'm really happy to like hear that you're having like such a good time like with this book series.
I think there's like not, especially if it's a book series that you did love, like so much of this reread will be nostalgic. It will be you like remembering the things that you loved, and you'll be like, you're remembering the story, because like a lot of it I couldn't remember, and then you read it and you're like, oh right, and then you're like, oh wait, I think I remember this is what's gonna happen. So it's not like I definitely see that there are not good parts about it, but I know that I was obsessed with it so much that I knew that was gonna stay. Like there was no way it was that bad that I would still have been like so in love with it. Like even like I know if I read Twilight now, I will still be like, I would still love it. If it was my first time reading it as an adult, like perhaps I wouldn't feel this way, but because I went through this, like I know I'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know? So I do think rereading is really nice. I totally agree that I don't do it that often because there's so many books to read, but this has shown me that, like, you know, there are books, because you rewatch movies favorite movies all the time, but then books, obviously they take longer, but like it's worth rereading those books that you love, you know? Yeah. So what about you? What is a book that made you happy? Are you going to say Ancillary Justice?
No, I'm not going to say Ancillary Justice. Ancillary Justice made me philosophical about my place in the universe, but a book that made me happy was Daggerbound by T. Kingfisher. I recently finished that. This book made me so happy. One, it was my first arc that I got, and I love T. Kingfisher, guys. You know I love her. And I especially love her fantasy romance books and all her books that take place in the world of the White Rat. 2, this was a highly anticipated sequel. I talked about it last time. The first book came out in like 2018, and now it is 2026. Now, did I read Sword Heart last year? Yes. So I was not on the trip.
Okay.
I was not on the trip. But the amount of like hype around the sequel is real. It follows a already beloved character in the series. He was in like one of the other books, and it's about him falling in love in this book. And I'm like, oh, it's so fun just to be in the world of the White Rat again. Even though like I finished, like the last book I read was like last year. Like it's not like I've been gone that long. Yeah. But this world is awesome because it's so expansive, and there's so many like beloved characters in this book. There's so many beloved cameos in this book that just every time I was reading it, I was like, oh, I'm just so excited just to be with these characters again. Like there's just like comfort characters at this point.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a sequel then, you mean? Like it's like the first one it works as a standalone?
Yeah,
and then
kind of, yeah.
It's like an additional story now.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like Bridgerton, right? Where it's like the first, so
it follows like a different
it follows a different character.
Right,
except in this case, instead of it being a family, it's these 3 characters that are cursed to be trapped in weapons.
Oh my god, okay.
So the first one,
sure.
Yeah, so it's like these 3 people who used to be like in a mercenary group together, and then they got cursed to be trapped in like these 3 separate weapons that have been like scattered through time and stuff. And so the first book follows one of them, his name's Sarkis, and the second book follows another person in this mercenary group who's the dervish. And it's also about like, obviously, like you got cursed to be a sword, there's lots of like angst in there and backstory. I don't want to spoil what happens in Daggerbound, but also a lot of like reconciliation. So I really, really enjoyed it. If you liked Sword Heart, you will love Daggerbound. It's like the same kind of stuff, and that makes me like so happy.
Nice. So we've reached our last question. So Shannon, what is a book that you're hoping to read by the end of the year?
I've issued myself a new challenge.
Okay.
It is not necessarily a challenge that I will complete by the end of the year, but it is a new challenge. I'm on a new quest. I plan to read every T. Kingfisher book.
Wow.
This is my new quest.
She has a lot of books.
I know.
Like all of the ones you own, or like all of them?
All of them.
Shannon.
Okay. Not, now to preface this, not all of them. Currently, it's going to be all the adult books.
Okay.
I have counted. I've made a list. I have 13 books.
Jeez, okay. Good luck.
Left to read. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Some of them are novellas.
Okay.
Some. And the book that I'm going to pick for this is a novella. It's What Feasts at Night, which is one of her horror books. I'm really excited to read more of her horror books. Ones I've read are The House of the Good Bones, which I thought was okay, and What Moves the Dead, which is a retelling of the fall of the House of Usher. And What Feasts at Night is like a sequel to that book, so it follows like the same main character. And I'm just more excited to read more like horror books by her. Stay tuned for my quest. Yay. You will get regular updates about my quest and how it's going. I'm really excited to go through the rest of her like back catalog. And then I don't think I'm going to touch the middle grade books, but I might pick up the young adult books. We'll see how I'm feeling after I read those 13 books.
Wow. Okay.
What about you? What is a book that you need to read by the end of 2026?
Funny story, Shannon.
Oh,
my answer is the same as last year.
What was your answer last year?
I had 2 books. One of them is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte.
I thought you read that.
I started it.
Oh.
So I started in March, and I paused to read The Unicorn Hunters, and then I started reading other books, and then I never went back. It's on my nightstand. It's been on my nightstand this whole time. I have to finish Jane Eyre,
Looking
guys.
at you when you go to sleep.
I know, and I was enjoying it. It's just like I got caught up with other stuff, so I gotta finish that this year. And the other one that I really need to read is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare.
Oh wait, I do remember this.
Which I said last year as well, and I've been seeing it every year. I own the book. I need to read it because her new series, which is coming out soon, which is like after the Dark Artifices series. The first book I think is coming out later this year is The Last King of Fairy. And I really want to read that soon, and I don't want to be like too behind, and I'm already behind. I have so many Cassie books to read. Like there's the 3 books in the Chain of Gold series, and then there is a couple of other books, like 2 or 3 other ones that I still have to read. So
her books are chunky.
They are chunky, but they're very addicting. So I know I can like get through them, and I know that once I start Chain of Gold, I will go into. That's what's also scaring me, that like I know it's a commitment, and I know that once I get Chain of Gold, I want to read the other ones. So maybe I'm thinking after I finish the House of Night series, that's going to be my next series to pick up.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I need to read it, and I love it so much. I was literally just the other day watching someone going through one of the books on her series, like, you know those people that do like a full recap of a book with like the photos on the wall and the lines and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I watched someone doing that for Lady Midnight, and I was like, I love these books. I love them so much. I need to read it. So that's what I'm going to be reading by the end of the year. Mark my words.
I also checked in on what I said last year, and I didn't do it either.
What was it?
It was, I needed to read Heavenly Tyrant by Xiran Zhe Zhao.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't read it.
Do you own it?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I also wanted to read Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black.
Oh, yeah.
Also didn't read it.
I also want to read those.
Yeah, we should read it because I really love The Cruel Prince.
Yeah.
I liked Stolen Air. Like, I did read it. And then I was like, time to read Prisoner's Throne. And then I didn't. So maybe we'll see if I hit those too. Those are stretch goals.
With the Kingfisher books and with the books we have to read for the podcast and for the book club books. Oh my gosh, Shannon. And maybe the Odyssey. Wow. So ambitious.
Woo. We'll see how the second half of the year has for us.
So that's going to be it for our mid-year book Freakout tag. Thank you so much for listening. This was fun. So excited to be back and redo this first tag that we did for the podcast. It's been very, very exciting to just go through the books we read this year and reflect on all that. So thanks so much for listening. And as always, please leave us a comment below if you want on the Spotify, on the YouTube, wherever you're listening to it. Leave us a little 5-star review, perhaps. And if you have any recommendations, any comments, any questions, anything, you can email us at betweenthebookspod@gmail.com. And we now have an Instagram account. So if you want to follow us, we're at Between the Books Pod. And we're going to be posting photos of all of our little adventures for each activity that we do for each episode. We're going to post about the upcoming books and like say a few words so that you know more about them before you hop into the episode with us. So stay tuned for that. But for now, we'll leave you at that. So thanks for listening. Bye.